The route for the 2023 Vuelta was recently announced. Let's take a look at it stage by stage, and I will assign each stage a popcorn power level on a 1 to 10 scale. This is a rating of how entertaining I expect each stage to be. Stage 1 is a TTT of 14.6 kilometers. Strong teams will look to take an advantage, but time gaps shouldn't be too large. Popcorn power level, 4 kernels. I don't love team time trials because they put riders on smaller teams at a bigger disadvantage, but I don't mind this one due to its short distance. From a pure entertainment value on the day, these are more fun to watch than ITTs. Stage 2 is a hilly, 181-kilometer route. Will that final hill be too much for the sprinters? PPL, 5 kernels. I'd say an average sprint stage gets 3 kernels. This stage gets 1 extra kernel because of the hill at the end, which adds some intrigue. It gets another extra kernel because the red jersey could potentially change hands, which is always fun to watch. We don't have to wait long for the mountains. Stage 3 finishes atop a Category 1 climb after 158.5 kilometers of racing. Will we see a GC contender lose time already? PPL, 8 kernels. The first climbing test is always fun to watch because there is so much uncertainty. Who are the real contenders? Who will be exposed as a pretender? I love a good GC battle so early in the race. The red jersey is potentially up for grabs again. Stage 4 looks like a sprint stage. The last climb is about 30 kilometers from the finish. PPL, 4 kernels. It gets 1 extra kernel because of the 2 climbs. Stage 5 is a hilly, 185-kilometer stage. Can the sprinters maintain control again? The last 15 kilometers are pan-flat. PPL, 4 kernels. Similar to stage 4. Will it be a sprint? There's a level of uncertainty. Stage 6 is another mountaintop finish within the first week of racing. This stage is 181 kilometers and finishes with a Category 1 climb. PPL, 7 kernels. The race finished here in 2019 and there were time gaps among the GC riders. A stage like this is always intriguing during the first week of racing. Stage 7 is a 189-kilometer stage for the sprinters. No doubt about this one. PPL, 3 kernels. Standard sprint stage. Stage 8 is 165 kilometers of hills. There are 5 categorized climbs, plus a few uncategorized climbs as well. The final climb summit is about 3 kilometers from the finish, which comes on a short flat section at the bottom of a descent. This stage screams breakaway to me. PPL, 6 kernels. I'd give it 7 if it finished atop the last climb. The race needs stages like this, so I'm not mad at it. Stage 9 is hilly, but not as hilly as Stage 8. This 181-kilometer stage finishes with a Category 2 climb and looks like another stage for the breakaway artists. A rest day follows. PPL, 5 kernels. It's not too difficult by this race's standards, which are admittedly high. I wouldn't expect any GC action, but you never know when someone might have a bad day. The finish itself will be fun to watch, but will it have much impact on the race as a whole? Stage 10 is a 25-kilometer ITT that is mostly flat. PPL, 2 kernels. Time trials are boring to watch. They are an important part of any GC race and make the following stages more interesting, but I tend to skip watching them on their own. Stage 11 is another uphill finish, this time atop a Category 1 climb on a 163 km stage. PPL, 5 kernels. Similar to Stage 9, the final kilometers of this stage will be fun to watch, but it shouldn't impact the race that much. The last kilometer of the climb approaches 10%, so it's a stage for the punchers. Stage 12 covers 165 kilometers and is one of the few opportunities for the sprinters. PPL, 3 kernels. Standard sprint stage. Stage 13 is the Queen stage and should be jam-packed with action. It's relatively short at 135 kilometers, but finishes atop the legendary Tourmalet. Look at those climbs. They all add up to more than 4,000 meters of climbing for the day. PPL, 10 kernels. No doubt about it. Stage 14 doesn't offer much chance for recovery. It's 162 kilometers, the last 100 of which are filled with climbs. The final climb is no Tourmalet, but riders will have to stay alert. PPL, 7 kernels. A lot depends on how Stage 13 plays out. Will someone have asserted his dominance, or will the GC still be competitive at this point? I get the feeling that the shadows of Stage 13 will loom large, and it might be a mostly uneventful breakaway stage. Stage 15 takes place after a well-deserved rest day. It's 157 kilometers of hills with 3 Category 3 climbs, finishing after a descent. This looks like another breakaway stage. PPL, 4 kernels. I enjoy a good breakaway stage, but there's nothing extra interesting about it. Stage 16 is a classic Vuelta stage with a short, but insanely steep finishing climb. The stage is 120 kilometers long and built for aggression. PPL, 6 kernels. The final climb has ramps up to 14%. That's always worth tuning in for at the end. Stage 17 is 123 kilometers and finishes atop the fearsome Angliru. This stage is not to be missed. PPL, 10 kernels. My personal favorite climb to watch. Even if someone has a stranglehold on the GC at this point, there's always potential for any rider to crack and lose a ton of time. Stage 18 is a leg-killing 179-kilometer stage full of ups and downs. There are 5 categorized climbs and it finishes atop a Category 1 climb. This stage has "breakaway" written all over it. PPL, 7 kernels. A lot depends on what happens on Stage 17, but there might be a few guys looking to gain back time here, and this is a favorable stage for doing it if the lead is still within reach. On the other hand, there's a good chance that somebody will have an insurmountable lead at this point, which could neuter this stage. Stage 19 is one for the sprinters, if there are any sprinters left at this point. It's 177 kilometers and as flat as you'll ever see at the Vuelta. PPL, 3 kernels. Standard sprint stage. Stage 20 is a Category 3 festival. Look at all of those. There are 10 of them. Altogether, this is another stage that climbs more than 4,000 meters for the day. It's the last chance for GC riders to make a difference, and a unique one at that. This is also the longest stage of the Vuelta at 208 kilometers. PPL, 8 kernels. It looks like a spring classic. This will be a very nervous day if GC gaps are still small. Opportunities abound for a long-range attack. I'm being optimistic with this rating. There's a good chance that the GC lead will be far out of reach by now. Stage 21 is a traditional celebratory sprint stage. It's 101 kilometers and finishes in Madrid. PPL, 2 kernels. I tend to skip final stages like this, to be honest. Here's a look at the stage profiles altogether. Overall, this is certainly a race for the climbers with only 25 kilometers of ITT, plus the 14.6 kilometers of TTT. The climbing starts early, with 2 stages finishing atop Category 1 climbs during the first week of racing. The second week is pivotal, as it includes the ITT and the Queen stage on stage 13. The final week is a killer with the Angliru on stage 17, a Category 1 finish on stage 18, and that tiring 10-pack of Category 3 climbs on stage 20. PPL, 9 kernels. There's tons of potential here and each week has something to look forward to. Stage 13 is killer and I always love the Angliru. I would only make one change, and that would be to put another ITT in place of the TTT. Move stage 2 to stage 1, then have a 25-kilometer ITT as stage 2. That would make for 50 total kilometers of time trial. It's a small complaint. I'm very much looking forward to this year's Vuelta, and if you look at who's starting the Giro this year, there's a good potential that we'll see big riders at the Vuelta as well. Thanks for watching.